Welcome to the Freedom Loving Podcast. This is Kevin, and this is episode number 51. And today, in just a minute, I have an interview with Ben Alvarado. And Ben is somebody that I met here in Austin, and he is an SEO writer, and he is breaking free and creating his own path to freedom. So I thought it was a really cool story to have on the podcast and to talk about some details about how to set that up and what he does and how it all works. And so that's in just a minute, but a big, huge announcement. I am going to be two things. One is I'm going to be ending my quest to do 6 businesses in a year. Unfortunately, it just was not going to work out with what I want to accomplish. And I'm going to go through the reasons here, but I'm also going to be scaling back the Freedom Loving podcast. So what brought me to this? Well, I went out on last Friday night. Today's Friday, and about a week ago, I went to a happy hour. I met someone that was quite a bit younger than me, and he was making quite a bit more money than me. And instead of going into like jealousy mode or envy mode or whatever, I just wanted to kind of learn from him, like how he got to where he is. He does internet marketing, and he's doing some kind of large scale advertising, and he mostly works on pay-per-click campaigns, but does a few other things online. And he mentioned 6 figures a month, and I had no reason to not believe him because I just met him, and he didn't seem like he was trying to kind of bullshit me or anything like that. But anyway, he kind of told me a lot of things I need to do to get there, even to get to the point where my business is enough to really live well. And that's kind of where what I got from him, is that he was kind of like frowning on the idea of earning any less than 20,000 a month, and I'm not there. So I'm not really even close to there, but that is something that I really want to get to. And so I came out of that, and I had another discussion with another friend of mine who is also in an online type of business, and he was talking about how he's really just focused on that and he's not doing anything else. In fact, he said he pretty much quit dating, quit a lot of socializing for a while just to focus on business. And so all of this, I kind of got home, and I got home and I was really thinking that I need to do this. I need to focus. I can't be doing the 6 businesses, even though that was my motto here for a while, 6 businesses in a year. It just makes so much sense for me to not do it at this point that I can't commit to it anymore. And I may pick it up later, but I have some things I want to accomplish with my 2 websites, with Try Swim Coach and 100 Must Reads, that I think have a lot of potential. And my goal here ultimately is more freedom, and that is something that I felt like it wasn't being achieved by doing a podcast and doing businesses that are maybe giving me some experience and giving me some money, but not really achieving freedom in the way that I want to, where I think I have a lot of potential to do that, to do more of that with my other websites. And so it's not necessarily about earning way more money. It really comes down to choices. And another friend I was talking to was talking about an example of the choices that you have when you make a lot of money or you make a lot more money. Like he was going to take his kids to Disney World, and I guess they went last year and stayed at a pretty nice hotel, and it was pretty close to the park and everything like that. But they were walking by this hotel that's actually in the park, and I guess last year he looked at that and went, "Oh, I just want to stay there. That's where I want to be." And it sounds like a kind of a little thing, or does he really need that? No, but it's like those are the kind of things that you feel free when you're able to make those decisions. Like maybe one year he does that. One year he stays in the awesome hotel that's inside the park, inside the amusement park, and that it would only be accomplished if he can get to a certain point in his business and to be earning a certain amount of money. And so and I'm sort of like that too. Like I look at things and go, oh, if I could get that, it would be nice. It's not that I need it. I mean, I'm happy to do a lot of things on the cheap, and I'm happy to kind of hack my way through things where it doesn't require like tons of money to do it, and that's cool. But at the same time, I want the choice. I want the choices that more money brings, and to be able to do the thing where I stay in a 5-star hotel for a few nights and not even worry about it. Like that's just kind of a freedom that right now I don't really have it. and I would like it. So that's what my goal is, and that's what I'm shooting for. So I am starting with a book called 80/20 Sales and Marketing, and it's by Perry Marshall, and it's about really focusing on the things that are making you the most money, and then all the different ways you can do this. And his plan, it starts with really mastering Google AdWords. So I have a book on mastering Google AdWords, and so I'm going through that and I'm applying it right now. I'm getting some campaigns going, and I really want to master that. And then I'm already pretty good at Facebook ads, so that's continuing. And so there's a whole lot of things that I need to do. And one of them is also outsourcing better. I'm just really, as much as I talk about freeing up your life, I haven't really outsourced enough. And, in the 80/20 book, he talks about the idea of that you are actually at some points during your day, you're making $1,000 an hour, no matter how much you make. Even if you're like if you're just slaving away or something, you are really super productive for, let's say, for 10 minutes, and in that 10 minutes you're doing things that are either making the company a lot of money or you're making yourself a lot of money. And then maybe the next 50 minutes you're making like equivalent to $1 an hour or something. So that's kind of where he's coming from, and some of the things that I'm planning on doing is just outsourcing the stuff that is kind of like $10 an hour work. Like, just running, like today I went to Target to return something. I had to return an item, and it was like, that's a 45-minute deal out of my day. And why do I need to do that? I mean, there are people that will do that for $10, and so that things like that, just paying for things that I really don't need to be doing. And he has a thing in the book where you list all the things that you love and all the things that you hate to do. And when you have your hate list, you just outsource as much as you can of that. And especially the things like cleaning or dishes or laundry or whatever, that stuff can easily be outsourced. And unless you want to work for $10 an hour, there's no reason to keep doing it. So his threshold was $30 an hour. If you think you're worth $30 an hour or more, then let this thing go, whatever it is. So that's the things I'm going to be focusing on, and I am no longer doing SEO writing as of a week ago, and so that's clearing out some time. So I've been really studying hard this past week on the 80/20 principles and now Google AdWords. So I will keep reporting on that when I do a podcast, but this is going to be the last one for a while, and I really look forward to getting to some of those and I really look forward to just bringing more value to the Freedom 11 podcast as I go. So I'll be talking about business, and I want to be talking about relationships, and then also want to be kind of compiling some of the podcasts that I listen to, like I mentioned on the last show, and give the highlights of those as well. So that's the plan for the future, but right now it is going to be focused time for business and doing things that make money as opposed to doing things that I just enjoy doing, like the Freedom 11 podcast. So this has been fun, and I really appreciate you listening. It's a great audience. I get to talk to people all the time. I get emails and from listeners and people that are on the quest of building freedom in an unfree world. So it's been awesome up to this point, and I wish everyone the best in whatever you are doing and whatever your endeavors you're involved with. And we will talk to you soon. But in the meantime, stay tuned for my interview here with Ben Alvarado, and have a great week and a great month, and go out there and build some freedom. All right. Well, I'm really excited to have my new friend Ben Alvarado on the show today. And the show is going to be called 48 Hours to Freedom, a starting point for location independence. And his website is writingstartup.net. Hey, Ben, welcome to Freedom 11.
Hey Kevin, how's it going?
Good, man. Yeah, it's been cool. So just to give a little background, Ben was a listener of Freedom 11, and he emailed me, and he's locally here in Austin, and we got together a couple times now for coffee and done some co-working. And what he's working on, I found really interesting and applicable to what I talk about here all the time with the location independence and freedom, and kind of breaking free of the whole corporate world. So I really wanted to get him on the show. And we were talking, I guess it was last week, and
Yeah.
we came up with the name 48 Hours to Freedom. And it was basically because he was saying that you could basically start a website in 48 hours and have something built where you can make income from anywhere. And I thought that was really cool. And then there's a band and there's a song by Sublime called 40 Ounces to Freedom. And there was a cover band in San Diego that had the same name, and so I thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, Ben, so I wanted to start off with just getting your background and kind of where you came from and how you started this business that you have now.
Yeah. Well, I started my first business back in 2008. I was doing an IT, more like a computer fixing repair company, basically.
Actually,
On
let's go
this,
back. Let's go back to so you where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Germany.
Yeah.
That's where I'm from. Yeah.
Okay. And then how did you end up coming out to the U.S.?
Um, well, my job over there kind of ended, so I decided, I'll give America a try, and it worked out. So,
Yeah.
so I came over here.
Nice. And then so you started working here. You were in Arizona, right?
Yeah, yeah, I went to Arizona first. Worked there, and then I came to Texas and started working here in the IT area.
Okay. Cool. So can you just pick it up from there? Like what? So
Oh
then,
yeah,
yeah. So
no, yeah. In 2008, I started my first kind of little company. Basically, I was just doing PC repair on the side
okay.
to my normal job, and that's when I discovered that I actually enjoyed working for myself. And yeah, I kind of did it for a little while, and then stopped because had a full-time job, so and then a family and everything. And in 2010, I decided to go start up a software company because I've been programming since a really young age, and I thought, that might be the good thing to do. And that didn't work out so good.
Hmm.
So, failure happens. And so I decided, I got to shift gears and see what else, I could do because I had the option either, going back to an office and working for a company or giving this another try to work for myself. And I decided to go with doing a writing business back in December of last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
last year, December. I decided to start doing freelance writing, particularly started writing blog articles, well, more SEO focused articles. And that worked out pretty good. And that's where I'm at right now. Well, now that turned into a more of a copywriting business with offering different services like email marketing and all this other stuff. But yeah, I just started with a small writing business, and that actually, it built up from there.
Yeah. How did you get motivated to do writing? Was that something that you wanted to do or wanted to get into, or is it just like kind of a convenient thing that you fell into?
Well, I always enjoyed writing. So I thought, well, let me see if I can make money with that. And, once I started getting clients, they were paying me to do it. For me, it was actually fun,
Yeah.
When I get paid, I do what I like to do, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you set up the business?
Um, I read an article. Yeah, I read an article on Sean Ogle's Location 180.
Right.
And I kind of just, it sounded intriguing and simple to the article was like, yeah, set up a website. This is how you market yourself, and you should it should work out. And I was like, okay, well, let me give it a shot. Why not? Yeah. And 2 weeks later, I had my first client, and I was like, okay.
Wow. That's awesome. Just 2 weeks. So yeah, I think that was the same article that I read. It was he had the top or there are 10 businesses you could start from anywhere,
Yes.
and then one of them was SEO writing, and that's kind of why I picked that to do for 2 months because I figured it was something that I could get going for relatively quickly, and just start making money, and that's the key I think with any of these type of businesses is you just want to make your first dollar, and rather than get too complicated, and if it's your first business, it's the first thing you're doing that online, it's important to make that first dollar because otherwise you could be spending months and months building something and not seeing any
Yeah.
rewards, and then you just get either burnt out or discouraged, and then it never really gets off the ground. But I like this building approach of starting something that you can do really quickly, and then
Yeah.
going from there. And it sounds like that's what you've done. Like you started with just doing articles and SEO writing. Now you're branching out a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Now how did you so how did you do that? So you built a website to kind of advertise yourself, or how did that work?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just pretty much just set up a quick WordPress site. It didn't look good. I just popped some information on there, like the service I offer,
Yeah.
and a little about page and a contact form and some samples, and that's it. And but the problem, of course, is that no one knows about the website unless you tell them about it.
Yeah.
So I decided to, okay, well, let me email a whole bunch of internet marketing companies, and I put myself on Craigslist, which worked pretty well. I didn't expect that. Yeah, and also, calling up companies and offering my service, which has, brought in a lot of clients that way too.
Yeah, yeah. So you've
So,
had some success with Craigslist then. I actually
yeah.
hadn't even thought about doing that, but that's a great idea. Um, Now, how did you get your samples? Like you hadn't done any writing before, I take it. So how did you get those samples out there so that people can see what your writing is like?
Yeah, the first thing, well, I need to backtrack a little bit. The first thing I did to even start learning how to deal with clients was I went on Fiverr.com
Oh yeah,
and I tried, and yeah, it's like I think on the end you get like $3.69 or 96 cents from the whole $5 because Fiverr takes a cut, PayPal takes a cut. But that wasn't the point. The point was just to get some work done, and then yeah, I use those. You can use those to you can rewrite them to have them as samples, or I did a couple where I just sat down and just wrote about topics that I enjoyed writing about,
yeah.
and then just put those into a blog post form and just put those on the website so people can look at it.
Oh, okay. So you just created articles on your site then
Yeah.
for the purpose of that. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, and then so on Fiverr, were you able to right away get a little bit of business for like the $5?
Yeah, it Fiverr is a little weird. It takes a little while, and you have to kind of offer a unique service because since a lot of people are saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to write your article for $5," you kind of have to position yourself uniquely there,
Yeah.
And but yeah, it takes about 2 3 weeks until you start getting people ordering,
Hmm.
and the more reviews you get, and of course positive reviews you get, the more orders you get, and the more money you'll make. But it does take a while. It takes, it took me, geez, about 4 months, I think, until I was able to say, okay, now this Fiverr is worth, working at.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I set up just for fun like a few months ago. I set up a profile on Odesk,
Hmm.
and I've done some copywriting, some sales copywriting, and so I thought I could just throw up a profile and I would just see who would be emailing me and offering me jobs and stuff. But it doesn't work like that.
No.
I put everything up there, put all my samples, and I thought it looked really good, and then yeah, it just nothing happened. But have you gone into Odesk or Elance or anything else like that?
I have tried Elance. Yeah, I did 2 jobs there, but you can just make more money just counting the companies yourself.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah,
I just went with that.
yeah, because you're competing against like the Philippines, where they're going to offer it for a
Exactly.
lot less than where you
Exactly.
can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a problem for me too. So I said, I'm just gonna contact them directly and just talk to them.
yeah, but there's also a demand for English speakers. I mean, the people that are, like you live in the U.S. I mean, maybe you're from Germany, but
Hmm.
if you say I live in the U.S., that there's a value that's added to that, just because people they know that if they go overseas, they might not be getting the English that they want.
Yeah.
So that's a nice thing. Um, so how much do you charge now? And how does that like? So when you started, it was just the $5 with Fiverr, and then you've
Yeah.
kind of grown from there. Now, how did you grow that? And what do you at this point? What are you charging?
Well, through my main business on the website, I charge I think it's like $25. It depends on how much they order too. I think it's $25 per article, and then it's like $20 if they order around 10 a month.
Yeah.
And then if they really order a lot, then I'll talk to them and then we'll cut out a deal. So
Okay.
you just kind of have to set your prices the way that see fit towards yourself, so
Right.
you can live off it.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So and now, so you're doing this full time now. You're writing
Yeah.
basically articles. You start like what, like 9 in the morning, you go all the way through the to evening, or
Well, it depends. I mean, it really depends on when you get work in. A lot of my time is spent marketing, of course,
yeah,
because you have to. Otherwise,
yeah,
no one knows about you. Yeah, I have a couple of clients that come back every week. So yeah, they provide the income. But you never know when they're gonna drop off, so you have to keep on marketing. That's most of my day is marketing.
wow, yeah, that's I guess it's kind of like yeah, you're spending. What would you say? How many hours a day would you say at this point are you spending marketing versus writing?
Well, that's a good question. I get up. Well, I would say in the morning because I get everything ready in the evening, the
Yeah,
marketing emails, and then I'll send them out in the morning around 9. Yeah. Then I do some writing. I think around 3 in the afternoon I'm usually done though with the day. Then I concentrate
yeah,
then I'll concentrate on writing startup.net on the website and getting that ready and stuff like that.
cool,
So,
cool. Now, how has the transition been from working at a company and working with a lot of people and going to an office and things like that to kind of the solo entrepreneur life?
it's a shock. No, because you used to, I don't know, getting up at 6, being in the office by 7:30, going home at 4:30,
Yeah,
between you have lunch an hour. And then suddenly when you're on your own, you kind of have to, on the beginning, it's hard because you have to push yourself to actually do the work.
right.
Because, you can get sidetracked really easy. Like, oh, I can go play a game. Oh, I'm gonna, watch some TV or a movie. Oh, I can do this later. And you just have to kind of get into a rhythm. And yeah, it's a lot harder because on the beginning I worked, about 13, 14 hours a day.
Yeah,
So the whole 8 hours working went to 14. Yeah, it's definitely a shock. But if you do what you really enjoy doing, it really doesn't seem like work. It's just part of your routine, part of your day.
right. Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's kind of a balance, I think, with solo entrepreneurship, with doing things that you like to do, and then doing the things that you don't like to do but have to get to those other things.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's sort of like, and you just have to get used to the other stuff. But yeah, I think. What about? So I know you're working from home. You're not. Do you sometimes go to coffee shops?
Yeah, I go to coffee shops sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but I enjoy just when it's not too hot outside since this is Texas.
Yeah.
I'll go to like a park or something and just because there's no Wi-Fi, there's nothing. I can just concentrate on the writing and doing the work.
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah, that's always nice to be able to work outside
yeah.
somewhere. Although I can never quite get it right with my laptop. It seems like I'm always struggling to get the right angle so the sun isn't beating down on the laptop. It's like first world problem, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
Gotta find a tree and some shade.
yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right. So, okay, so one of the things that you mentioned last week when we were chatting was that you could actually run your business from your cell phone.
Yes.
Now, how can you do that? Like, how do you set that up?
Oh, I didn't experiment because I was kind of curious because I get the emails of the clients and then I talk to them through emails usually or Skype. And since you have an email program on your cell phone, you got Skype on there. Well, I have an iPhone, so I got that on there. Um, yeah, it's basically just yeah. They sent you the experiment. What I did is that they sent me the articles they wanted to have written. I just went into the web browser on the cell phone, did my research, went to I use a program called Byword to write on it, and yeah, just wrote an article and sent it off, and they weren't the wiser. They didn't know I did it on the cell phone and it worked. So
Yeah,
that sounds bad, but yeah, it's you can actually because it's not an easy business to do because it does require a lot of hard work, but it's an easy. There's not a lot of things you need to run it. So
yeah,
just having a cell phone, I mean, it's great because if I'm out gone for a couple of days and I don't got my laptop with me, I still can do the work. While I'm gone.
yeah, yeah. That's totally amazing. When you were saying that, I was thinking of how much that opens up to not just someone that wants to go location independent, but just anyone in the world that wants to earn some money
Yeah,
that can get a cell phone, which is just about everybody. Because the most third world places, it seems like these days most people have cell phones
yeah,
because that's their only connection to anything. So yeah, you can do it all. You just have to have a couple fingers to type and or maybe thumbs, whatever you use, and then you're off and running. So that's pretty cool.
yeah.
I guess it would be a little tougher if you were trying to build a website with your phone.
Yeah.
But at least even with some of the services like Fiverr or Odesk, you don't need a website. Like that's nice to have, right?
Yeah.
But you don't absolutely need a website to start making money.
Yeah, that's why, like, when someone asks me to, what's the best way, like, if they never started at all doing any kind of work for anybody, any kind of client work, I refer them to Fiverr.
Hmm.
Yeah, the money is really, really bad, but the experience you get, you get to deal with really good clients, you get to deal with really, really bad and rude clients, and then you learn how to deal with these people.
Yeah.
And you learn to do the work and get it done on time because there's a countdown timer. You set you can set to 3 days, 5 days, depending on what you're doing and how much time you think you need. Yeah, and you have to meet the deadline, and it will give you the experience, I guess, to
Yeah.
to go, and the confidence, because once you start earning your first dollar, it feels like $1 million, the first dollar you make. And
Yeah.
after that, you just kind of want to chase that feeling and you just keep on going.
Yeah, that is awesome. So now this isn't something that is scalable, right? I mean, you can't just keep writing articles forever
No.
and do that as your full-time gig. So yeah, what are your plans? Like, how do you plan to work this in the future?
Yeah, well, I'm for the last month I've been branching out more into different kinds of copywriting services I offer. Um, yeah, you're right. I mean, writing articles is not. It's great to get your feet wet, but you, of course, first of all, it gets tedious, and then second of all, yeah, it's not sustainable to the future. So, what happens is, like, a client, like, if you do a really good job of writing articles and you're really nice to the client, usually they'll ask you for different copywriting jobs.
Hmm.
So you can take those on, even though you're saying, "Oh, I'm only offering articles," you can still take on different jobs, and then just branch out like that. Say, "Okay, I did a marketing email, so I'm going to offer marketing emails because I know I can do that. I did a press release, I'm pretty good at that. Okay, I'm going to offer that too."
Yeah.
So there's different things you can do, and yeah, that's basically what I'm doing right now. I'm just yeah, requires a renaming of the website,
Yeah, that's
but
right.
that's fine. That's not a big deal. It's just a quick email to everybody that I worked for before, and
Yeah.
just send it to a different link. Yeah, that's the way to do it. And then, of course, a good thing is, if you're working on the internet, is to have different income streams. You're doing a copywriting thing, for example, and then if you also enjoy writing a blog, well, start a blog, and try to make some money with that. Or if you're good with programming or something, make some apps and make some money on the side with that too. Because if one thing fails, you at least have some other income coming in from a different side.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that totally makes sense. I think when I first got started with internet business, one of the first books I read, and this goes way back, and this kind of dates me, but it was called Multiple Streams of Internet Income, and it was I forget that guy's name, Allen. I think his last name was Allen, but he basically took a year and he said, I'm gonna build an internet business with no money. I'm gonna start with zero money, and my goal is to make $20,000. And so he spent the year. The book is about his year of building that business and exactly what he describes exactly what he did, and then his after that he sort of starts building other businesses from there because of the base experience that he got, and that's what it's about. It's the multiple streams. I think
Yeah.
when you're first starting, I think if you are someone that is looking to go location independent, but you don't have any idea where to start, you could start doing articles, you could start doing SEO writing, and start bringing it in. Within what would you say, about a month or so, you could probably just take off and move to Thailand, and if you're living on $50 a day or something, that could easily support you.
Yeah, I mean, if you put in the work and you go to the clients and you call them. That's I'm
Yeah,
saying. If you call the clients, they'll more likely give you the business than email, because everybody emails them. Not a lot of people call them. So
that's
you gotta
true.
be you gotta be different.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Maybe you should fax them.
I
Nobody's faxing these days, so
don't even own a printer anymore.
I know I'm so bad. If somebody tells me they need me to scan something and email it, I just dread it because I
Yeah.
know that something is going to go wrong and I have to deal with paper, and that's never a good thing. But cool. So now, as far as your website, writingstartup.net, what are you going to be offering there?
Yeah, writingstartup.net, I set that up. So pretty much anybody who's interested in starting, on the beginning, I'm going to focus more on an article writing or an SEO type of business. because it's just the simplest one to set up and the simplest one to get started in.
Yeah.
It does require work, and I'll mention a lot on the website that you have to put in the work. There's no 10-step formula for you to, buy or something. Yeah, and the website's just set up to with a whole bunch of free information, so you can, pretty much get started and starting your own business if you like.
Yeah.
And then I'm there. I mean, you guys, anybody who's interested can contact me through the website, and I'll gladly help. You know,
Yeah, and you mentioned that you were going to do a series of videos. Is that
yeah.
going to be on the site?
I'm not working on it yet. It's in the works though, so I'm planning it
Okay.
out. But first, I'm still putting together a written course, and it's completely free.
Yeah.
No email sign up required.
Awesome. Yeah.
So it's gonna be just out there for anybody who wants it. Because I'll I want to help as much people who actually want to do it. And keep the barrier low of entry, and yeah. But yeah, the video, yeah, it's in the plans right now. So, but first, I want to get the site, get more content on the site, and get the course done,
Yeah.
and then I'll start recording videos.
Cool.
So,
Awesome. Now, so do you have any travel plans, or are you sticking around the Austin area for a while?
I'm still sticking around the Austin area right now. I'm still kind of just trying to decide where to go. So
Yeah.
that's been another
Yeah.
a little problem. I want to leave. I'm like, where should I go?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that could be an issue if you don't have it anywhere in mind. But you said you're thinking about going back to Germany for a little bit,
Yeah, definitely.
and that'd be nice to be able to keep running your business and have money coming in while you're traveling and
Yeah,
all that. So
definitely.
cool, cool, awesome. Well, I think that's about it. Do you have anything else to say about the whole writing world, or?
Um, no, I mean, I would anybody who's interested should come check out writingstartup.net, and gladly help you out. And yeah, just if you want to start, just put in the work, and you'll succeed.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Easy as that.
Yep, that's a secret right
Yeah.
there.
Cool. Well, Ben, hey, thanks so much for coming on. It's been great chatting, and best of luck to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kevin.